One of the things I realized was abnormal and also reminded me of my father later realized was that there would be times where we would have a discussion. And I remember it was about that 2-year mark when that mask started to come off. And we were arguing about something, silly couple fight, and I've always been taught in my degrees in communications, aside from studying abnormal psych, but learning to talk through things, learning to work through stuff, because that's how you get through life, And I remember we're talking, and he would do this thing called stonewalling, where he would completely ignore my existence and not respond for, God, I remember I'd asked him, do you even love me? Like, do you want to be together? And I counted this for 45 minutes. He sat there in silence, just staring at me. And I remember at that point, I was like, this isn't normal, and I shouldn't put up with this. And it was a very kind of eye-opening experience, I guess, after that point. But then he would suck you back in, like a lot of sociopaths do, being like, I love you, I'm sorry, I shouldn't have done that. Kind of like any abuser would. They know that you're close to leaving, and so they don't want to lose you. So they'll pull you back in with some sort of very sweet, grandiose gesture, something very charismatic, and, okay, you know what, I'll just look past it that time. We're great. I'll forgive him. It's not a big deal. And then the abuse repeats again after that. And so that's how a lot of people get sucked into those types of situations. So, but yeah, I remember wasn't allowed to see my family or friends. I remember my phone calls were cut off from family and friends. He began telling me what I could wear and what I couldn't wear, that I couldn't cut my hair, and just became extremely controlling. And it was done in a way that made it seem like he was looking out for me or something, or that he cared, I guess. And so it's done in a way where it's kind of like a nonchalant type manipulation, I guess you could say. Trying to think of other exciting stuff, too, that was probably the craziest of all. But I just remember, too, instead of breaking up the relationship, this individual made sure that, they got, like, thousands of dollars from me, like, through sympathy, be like, can I just borrow X, Y, and Z to get this done? I'll pay you back. And, of course, at that time, I felt sorry. I was like, okay, yeah, I can help you out with that, too. And eventually, towards the end of the relationship, he owed me so much money. We'd been going to therapy. He had lied and told all these people that, I was cheating, basically doing horrible things, and really that wasn't the truth. And it's really hard with sociopaths because oftentimes they're very charismatic and captivating type people, to the point that most people love the sociopath. They think that they're a great person, and so when you kind of tell them the truth about how they act behind closed doors, no one really believes you. And they're like, well, that's crazy. It can't be. She or he is such a great person, yada, yada. And so you kind of look like the crazy person until things are documented. But, yeah, basically I was brainwashed into a lot of different things. I could probably go on about it throughout the whole interview, but maybe I'll save more details for later in case you want to keep it interesting. So, but, yeah, those are some tidbits from it. Yeah.
Samantha, isn't it amazing their ability to draw you in, and not just you, your family. Like, your family, like, typically your family, like your mom, your dad loves them. It's like, oh, they're so great. They always smiling. Like,
yep.
When I seen this experience happen with my own eyes, and I think back on it, I was just like, wow, like, their ability to make your friends love them. Like, everybody's like, oh, that person's so great. Like, you lucked up with that one. Like, their ability to be able to manipulate and draw not just you, but everybody that comes with you, the full package, friends, family, and make them think that they're, like, the greatest person you could have ever linked up with. And they can get away with it for so long. Because, like, normal frauds, they might get away with it for a few months. These type of people can get away with it for years. And it's fascinating to, like, that they can do it. It's not like they college educated to do it or nothing. It's just something, an ability that they have. It's just crazy. It's mind-boggling when you think about it, like how they possess this ability to manipulate you and everyone around you and draw you right in, Right.
Yeah, and I think it's disturbing that they lack a conscience or guilt, They really don't have remorse. And that, to me, is fascinating. Oftentimes with sociopaths, at least, life is kind of like a game, and they find it amusing, especially if they can outsmart someone who's, revered as being super intelligent, like a doctor, an attorney, and life often becomes kind of this like cat and mouse game for them. How can they use a person? What can they get out of them? And really they take pleasure in it, which is disturbing, and it is amazing because honestly a lot of people are like, oh my God, I know that person. I love them. Like they're great. And then it's hard for you to be able to share or explain like the horrible things that they've done and actually have people believe you because everyone really assumes that they're a great person.